Opal returns to her home after an exhausting experience. She wonders to herself that whatever happened, was it really a dream or something else? Was it all real? Because to her it felt so real and she thinks she might be going crazy, so she doses of to sleep. The next few days were normal, everything was back in order. She used to be in her laboratory working on certain aspects of science and doing experiments.
Then, on a lovely Sunday, she gets a call from her brother informing her that they would be going out of the planet for a while, as he had some important business to attend to, and he wants her to take care of his 13-year-old daughter for a week.
Opal agrees, and so 13-year-old Rose teleports to her house. Opal warmly welcomes her, and they both talk with each other passionately. Then they spend the rest of the day having fun as Opal takes her to the Science City, where they have all sorts of fascinating stuff for children to play with. From manipulating objects to transform at their will, to having their desired experiences, whether it's going to a fairy tale or to go on a blind adventure. The place was truly filled with dreams and endless possibilities. Rose tells her that she would like to go on a blind adventure with her, and Opal agrees and tells her that the algorithm chooses the adventure at random. But it is really up to us to make the choices, and we can bend the storyline. And the most fun part is that even if we get injured during the adventure, it will not affect us as we return to the real world.
Then Rose excitedly said, "Okay, now let's do this."
They take a pill and the adventure begins. They find themselves in a forest, but this was no ordinary forest. It was an enchanted forest filled by different kind of spirits. Some are guides, some are good, some are evil, and whatnot. A guiding spirit appears in front of Opal and Rose and introduces himself as the guiding spirit.
And tells them that their mission is to find the special source that is hidden in the dungeons and bring that source to the castle over the hill. With that source, you would make a dish of your choice, but beware of the dangers here. This is not an ordinary mission, so be careful where you step and the guiding spirit disappears.
Opal and Rose walk towards the dungeons as they perceive them to be quite enormous and dark. As they advance inside it, they hear a squeak. The voice grows louder and louder, and a giant squirrel appears in front of them. They are shocked by its gigantic size, and it tries to eat them, so they run away for their life. And when they lose sight of the squirrel, they find themselves in a room full of tapestries of queens.
Suddenly a queen moves and talks from her tapestry to them, asking them for what exactly are they looking for.
Rose replies, "The special source."
And the queen answers for that you have to reach the end of the dungeons. But I can give you some equipment that will help you on your journey. But there is one condition: you will have to earn it.
Opal agrees and says, "Sure, what can we do to please you, my queen?"
The queen points upwards and tells them, "You see that circle up at the ceiling? It used to be open, until one day it was closed, and I want you to open that circle so that I can see the stars, the moon in the night, and the sun in the morning."
They agree to the request, so Rose tries the basic approach. She throws a couple of things at the circle, but nothing happens.
Shocked, she turns to Opal and says something strange about this. "There isn't even a scratch there. There must be another way."
Opal replies that, "I think I notice a pattern. There are 4 elements of nature drawn inside the circle. Maybe it's a clue."
Then Rose comments, "And that's why you're my favorite aunt." Opal smiles.
Then both look around their surroundings.
Rose says maybe we should gather parts of all the elements and throw them to the circle.
Opal compliments, "That's a great idea, that's why you're my favorite." Then they both smile at each other. Rose obtains a piece of the tapestry representing the earth element, while Opal obtains the wood lit on fire from the furnace.
Then Rose wonders where can they find a water element and a wind element. She looks at the tapestry of the queen and asks, "Where can I find water and wind element?"
The queen replies, "Oh dear, it doesn't seem that it's around somewhere near, does it?"
Rose says, "Well, your tapestry has a water fountain as you sit on your throne, and I notice leaves are flying representing the wind element. Well, not that it's going to work anyway."
The queen say, "Rose, I must tell you something. Sometimes you need to try your wildest ideas, even if your mind tells you otherwise. If you feel like you found the right thing, then go for it no matter what. And besides, what's the harm in trying?"
Rose agrees, and Opal and Rose together throw all the parts of the element towards the circle, and surprisingly the plan worked out. And then the queen, which was in the tapestry, is freed from the tapestry and thanks them.
While handing over a magical necklace to Rose, and she says it will protect you from harm. "Dear, have a great journey." And then she disappears.
Opal and Rose celebrate their victory and moves further on into the dungeons without knowing what lies ahead on their path.
As they walk ahead, they find 2 goblins running towards them with bloodlust in their eyes. Opal and Rose run for their lives.
But then they stopped as they saw a huge waterfall as the path ahead disappears. They have no choice but to jump in now.
But the goblins do not go after them, as they were scared of water, so they retreat.
However, Rose and Opal see something particularly shining inside the water. Opal holds her breath and finds a treasure chest.
So she brings it to Rose, who was sitting by the water. They open the treasure chest with the key attached to it.
But there was no treasure inside it. Instead, blood-sucking bats came out from there.
And just a book was there whose cover was engraved by purple crystal. Rose touched it, and it started to float in the air.
And it flew somewhere, and Opal and Rose were trying to catch it by chasing after it.
When they finally caught it, they saw there were evil spirits trapped inside crystals with the description of each of their deeds.
As both of them observed them, Opal reads about one spirit that was the creator of black holes. Then there was another spirit that used to eat souls of children.
Before they could read any further, the book started glowing and was opened to a page with the sign of Illuminati.
And Opal was visibly shocked. She thinks in her mind, no, this can't be.
Rose asks her, "What happened? Are you scared?" "Don't worry, this is all just a simulation. Nothing is real."
Opal says maybe not anymore.
The Illuminati mark in the book glows, and several other marks starts to appear on the crystals, as all of them are shattered and the evil spirits are free.
Opal throws away the book and they both starts to run again. Then Rose asked, "What do you mean it's not a simulation anymore?" And Opal explains that mark that you saw, it wasn't just any mark. It was a mark of the Illuminati. They are an evil organization that wants to destroy the world. And this should not exist in this timeline or maybe even this universe. This has become very dangerous. We need to retreat now or else we might never get out of here.
Rose asks how the only way to get out is by bringing the sauce and making a delightful dish.
Opal thinks and says, "Forget the sauce first, let's get out of this dungeon and then let's think of a way." They ran as fast as they could and came to the entrance of the dungeon, still being haunted and chased by the evil spirits.
Rose opens the door with her necklace, and the spirits are trapped inside the dungeon. Rose compliments that the necklace really was useful.
The guiding spirit comes in front of them and it inquires about acquiring the special sauce.
And Opal replies that they couldn't obtain it due to serious circumstances, and they tell the entire story to the guiding fairy.
And it explains that those spirits were really not meant to be released. It appears there was a glitch in the simulation. Opal demands the guiding spirit to exit the simulation. And as the guiding spirit tries but fails in disbelief, he tries again, but still nothing happens, and he explains this glitch is far worse than expected. My powers are gone now. The three wonder what to do next, and the guiding spirit suggests that we need to go to the castle and do something. Maybe there will be a way out.
I cannot be completely confident on this thought, but we can try. Opal and Rose agrees, and they reach the kitchen of the castle.
And they start to create a cake in the shape of a rose.
And after making the cake, the guiding fairy says that this was supposed to be the part where we would put the special sauce to enhance the taste. But now that we do not have it, both of you might not be able to exit this simulation.
Opal has an idea about this, and she says that even after the evil spirits were freed, Rose's necklace was still working. She wondered if it still has some powers left.
The spirit observes the necklace carefully and notifies that this is a necklace of protection, so it cannot materialize that source. But it has some mana left. I suppose if I can borrow your necklace, I can get mana from this and materialize the source.
And Rose says, "Okay, let's give it a shot," and she hands over the necklace to the spirit.
And it works. The source appears before them and they pour it on the cake.
And all of them eat it with joy. Rose compliments that it was the most delicious thing she has ever tasted, and Opal agrees to that thought.
And they both are sent back to reality in their world.
And as they were going back home, Rose expresses that today was quite fun and was a roller coaster. She enjoyed it, though it was a little scary when there was a glitch in a simulation.
And Opal says, yeah, that was indeed very unexpected.
Rose looks at Opal and asks, "How did you know about that mark?"
And Opal says it's a very long story, I'll tell you when we get home, and she agrees to wait patiently until then.